Hi guys, today let's talk about gear ratios. We have a global ratio for the car depending on the center driveline and also in the bulkheads with the same overall gear ratio. If the ratio in the bulkheads is short, let's say for example on the MP10 we have a stock 1343 gear ratio, and as an option we have a 1242, so it is shorter. In this case, if you use the 1242 ring and pinion, the transmission will be shorter and the acceleration will be quicker, but your car will be a little bit harder to drive. This is in the case where the overall ratio is the same. So you're going to put the bulkhead a little bit shorter, compensate with the center. So overall it will be the same ratio, but it will be longer in the center and shorter in the bulkheads. So in this condition, the car is going to be more responsive, more reactive, but it might be a little bit harder to drive because it will be oversteering a bit more. And that is why on the MP10 cars today, we have a 1343 gear ratio. In the center now, the longer you go, the more top speed you're going to have. When we talk about longer gear ratio is to have a bigger pinion or a bigger clutch bell with more teeth, and or a smaller center spur gear with less teeth. The shorter gear ratio, the smaller pinion or clutch bell, and the bigger center spur gear. If you go with a shorter gear ratio, the car will be more responsive, more reactive, more punchy, but you will have a little bit less top speed. I will go with a shorter gear ratio when the track is small, or when you need the car to pop out of the corner, or if you need to take jumps and you want the car to accelerate a lot quicker. On the other side, if the track is low bite or high speed, you want to go with a longer gear ratio and you're going to have more top speed. A car will be a little bit easier to drive because the acceleration will be smoother and you will feel more comfortable. In both conditions, the longer gear ratio you want would be a little bit better because you will have more top speed and you will feel faster. But in this case, the limit will be the engine or the motor. On an electric motor, the longer gear ratio you have, the hotter the motor will go. And on a nitro car, the engine might not have enough torque to go with a longer gear ratio. So you will need to adjust it depending on your motor and your engine to make sure that it fits the car and your needs. It's quite similar on electric and nitro, but on the electric, it's very special because all the motors are really powerful. So if you go with a bigger pinion, you're gonna have more power, more top speed, a little bit less acceleration, but like I said, the motors are really powerful, so you're not really gonna feel that the acceleration is smoother. You're gonna just feel that you have overall more power. The limit is if the motor is running hot. If the motor is running hot, make sure that you are in the right temperature range and go down one tooth on the pinion to make sure that it's in the right temperature range. Also for the electric 8 scale, the smaller KV, the bigger pinion you can go to. For example, with the Connect motors, we have two different versions for the buggy, 1900 kV, 2050 kV. I would recommend a 16 teeth pinion on the 1900 and 15 teeth pinion on the 2050 motor. A smaller kV motor has less top speed but a little bit more torque, so you can use that torque to use a bigger pinion and get the most of it. So you will have maybe a better feeling with a bigger pinion. So you're gonna have the same top speed, but a smoother acceleration. That's it for today. Bye-bye.